Hi, I'm Carrie, and I am here with the Tarotscopes for the month of October, reading for each of the zodiac signs. And since the veil is thinning and it's that time of the year, I will be bringing forward an energy from the ancestors and then using a tarot to see what this energy means. And then we're going to exit out with the Halloween oracle here to see what is the takeaway from this message that they're bringing forward. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Aries. I will be back with your reading for Aries. Ooh, ancestor message for Aries. Okay, Aries, for you, the primary energy coming forward from your ancestors in the month of October comes from the card privilege. Is this a blessing or has this just been bestowed upon you? I feel like this is a month that you need to honor what you have in your life. You need to look at the fact that there are many blessings that need to be counted or at least acknowledged in your life in some way. And I say that because if you look at him, he is looking down here at the sun. So that tells me there are other good things, more opportunities that are available to you in the month of October, also with this sun card here. But the thing with justice right below this privilege is I feel that weighing of the scales. That's really what I get with this energy. And is enough? Is this enough? Should I be satisfied with where I am now, or is there still more out there for me to have? Is there still something else that I'm missing? Is there still something else that I'm lacking? Even though all these great things or happy things or good things are there in front of this privilege energy, I still feel this weighing of the scales, like comparing. Do well, maybe they have more than I do, or maybe they're getting this advantage and I'm not getting this advantage. And that's kind of where I feel that maybe your thought process or something like that may be in the month of October. Is somebody getting more than me, or somebody getting a leg up where I'm not, or am I being taken advantage of in some way if somebody is asking assistance for you? I really feel with the scales directly below the privilege that there is this imbalance happening. Even though they're balanced here in this picture, I'm feeling the weighing of options, the weighing of the pros and cons, the weighing of what's being asked of you. And the fact of the matter is, somewhere in the back of your mind, and I say that because his body is turned towards the sun, somewhere in the back of your mind, you're constantly thinking in that lack of mindset, that scarcity. There's not enough for me. I don't have this. I don't have that. Other people have privilege. I don't. And that's kind of what I'm getting from the way these cards are laid out. So maybe you're looking at those that have things that you want with this sun card. Maybe you're looking at those and coveting what they have and wanting that for yourself too. And that's fine to want what others have if it fits into your life in an authentic and um, emotionally or fulfilling and an emotionally fulfilling way. But like I said, with that justice card directly below this energy, it's like the weighing of and comparing yourself to others. Something that's really bothering you with this scarcity mindset where you're feeling like you're being left out of the mix for some reason. So, because of that, because of what I had said at the beginning, is privilege, is this an honor or just something like expected? This is where we need to shift our ideas and thoughts into that aspect of what the blessings are for the month. What is really positive in your life? What is working out for you in some way? What is coming to you that you've been waiting for, but maybe you don't feel it's big enough, so you're not acknowledging it? There needs to be a weighing of the scales within yourself to figure out where you are feeling left out of something. And is that a true perspective when we have the sun card over here? And that's kind of how I see this energy. But let's see what this other oracle has to add on to this. Spider, community and web weaving. So if we go by the spider, then I'm going to say there's something possibly in your friend group or in your community, even in your workplace, where you are feeling someone is getting more advantages than you are, where someone is maybe getting recognition or getting the accolades in some way that you had been working towards. And so, therefore, you're feeling on the outside. But again, I say we've got that sun card here and the scales, and it's time to start really weighing what the blessings are in your life. And was what you were pushing so hard for, was it worth it? Or does it matter that maybe it was given to someone else? And it's interesting if you look at all the faces in this, that even justice is looking over here to the sun card, just like he is looking over here to the sun card, looking at, like I said, what everyone else is gaining, what they have in their life in some way. And but the back of your mind, you're thinking about that lack of the Four of Pentacles energy, what you don't have or what you feel that you're missing out on because of that. So spend some time, Aries, reflecting in the month of October and seeing if your idea of blessings or your idea of this privilege is tipping the scales in one way or another, and are you seeing it through a proper lens? I hope this resonates for you some way in the month of October, Aries, and don't forget to leave a comment below if this does. And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to autumn. This reading is for Taurus. Okay, Taurus, the energy coming in for you in the month of October from your ancestors is the energy of change. And this is a change that either you are initiating or one that is being initiated for you. But considering I have the Fool as the very next card and she is pointed towards the Fool, I feel like you are initiating some sort of change in the month of October. This is a change that you are choosing to make or that you are wanting to take the leap into for the betterment of you or your family. The change that you're wanting to initiate, Taurus, is for your betterment because the 10 of Cups is right below you. And so this is something that you have chosen or you are wanting to do because you feel that it is for either the betterment of you, the betterment of your family, that it's going to bring you joy in some way. It's going to bring happiness into your life, maybe something that has been lacking. And that's kind of what I feel with this. But it is going to take that element of faith in order to take that leap to make this change in the month of October. The thing that is behind you, or the thing that may be coming up out of the shadows, and I say that because of the direction that she's facing, is the Seven of Wands. And that tells me that there's going to be people that are going to resist this element of change that you're making, especially because something I feel about this, especially with the 10 of Cups right below you, maybe you're making changes within yourself so you feel happier about who you are. And anytime we make changes about ourselves, we have our naysayers. We have those that come out and start questioning, saying, why are you doing this? What do you think you're doing, etc. But you need to stand up for yourself. You need to not bend to what their ideas and their perspective is. If this is a change that is truly going to make you happy, that you have thought through, then why not take that leap of faith? Why not step into it and embrace the changes that are happening for you or that you are initiating? It's really interesting when I sit here and I look at these two cards, because if you look at their imagery, they are very, very similar. She looks like she's, I mean, even though she has angel wings, like she's leaping and flying off. And he, of course, because he's the fool, is leaping and jumping off of the cliff. So this tells me, with those two images exactly almost the same, that you're ready for this. This is something that you aren't thinking about anymore, that you are just ready to initiate, that you are ready to start. Um, and you, even though I don't, the only wand I have over here is a seven, I still feel there's an excitement here about this. I mean, just from the look on his face and the fact that, like I said, she's pointed towards him. So this is something that you're ready for. So don't hesitate if there is some sort of change that you're wanting to make in the month of October. Don't let too many other voices weigh in on the topic and, try to slow you down in some way. If this is what you want to do, then you need to embrace what is right for you with this 10 of Cups. Let's see what your other card is. Oh, well, that one fell out right away. Illumination, the skull of light. So it's like a bright shining light is on you, is a spotlight actually on you in the month of October for this change, for this initiation. Bring forward this energy of joy and happiness. And don't let them, or like I said, whatever is blocking you or trying to block you in some way, don't let them completely set up a blockade. It's time for you to step in and do what's right for you. And I don't know, I just feel with this illumination, it's like that light bulb moment that, like, yeah, I'm doing it, I'm not waiting any longer. That's really what I feel with this energy. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope this resonates for you in some way, and I hope you have a wonderful start to fall. This reading is for the sign of Gemini for the month of October. Okay, Gemini, your card that came out, the energy from your ancestors, it was an act of love card, which is BU. So you're supposed to pull another card when this act of love card comes out, and that card is promise. And right away, when these two cards came out, I feel like there is some sort of obligation. There is some sort of promise that you made, that you are having second thoughts about, that you are considering backing out of. But at the same time, that's maybe not who you are. Maybe you don't like to break your promise. You don't like to back out of things that you've obligated yourself to, but it's not sitting right with you any longer. With this BU energy and the promise that you made, maybe this isn't the headspace that you're in any longer. Maybe this isn't the direction that your life or whatever is going in any longer. And so, therefore, this obligation and this promise that you've committed yourself to, you are feeling like you aren't, it's not fitting for you. On the flip side of that, I also feel like this is about recommitting to yourself. This be you and this promise energy is, you're making promises to everybody out there around you, but when are you going to start making promises and not breaking them with yourself? If you're promising yourself that you're going to do something for yourself, for the betterment of you in some way or another, why do you constantly not show up for yourself? That's kind of what I get with this energy. So the month of October is about making promises to you and showing up for you. Now, here's where I felt that the promise that you made to somebody doesn't fit your life anymore, or the obligation that you have isn't, you're not feeling comfortable with it any longer, because I've got the 5 of Wands energy here. And the act of breaking this promise, ditching this obligation, is going to come with turmoil. You know that there's going to be bickering around it, and there's going to be people asking you why 1,000 times over, that maybe you're not following through with something that you said that you were going to do. And I almost feel with these three cards right here is now that struggle, that internal struggle, that internal tug of war of, do you just stick with this handshake over here and do it anyway, or do you really embrace how you're feeling right now at the moment? The thing about this is, because I've got the high priestess that falls directly below these cards, the thing about this high priestess is, you knew when you obligated to this, you knew when you made this commitment and you made this promise, that something didn't feel right, that something wasn't maybe sitting right with you, that you were unsure about it then. And the longer time has gone on, the more you know that this isn't something that you really care to partake in any longer. The Wheel of Fortune is a reminder that you look, fate has a hand, but so do you. Because if you look at him, he is holding on to the wheel. He is going to, because his hand comes out and around, he can spin that wheel too, just as much as the way fate deals us things. He has the ability to change things, to spin that wheel and make something different occur. So, this is where you need to lean into your own inner guidance. You need to lean into yourself, not what people are arguing about with you in regards to following through with something, but what about the promise that you make to yourself? What about the promise of, look, I'm going to do things that are healthy for me, that support me, that lift me up in some way? What about that promise to yourself? And following your gut and following what it is that you know what is best for you, not just following what the masses want you to do. This is where you need to step in, and you need to spin that wheel of fate and take charge in this moment. That's really what I'm getting with this. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. This is about showing up for you. This is about making your promises to yourself and following through with those promises, not necessarily the promises that are made to or for someone else. What is your gut telling you? It's interesting when I look at the faces of all of these cards, they're all looking somewhere else besides these two, where they're looking at each other. But she's looking forward, he's looking down, they're looking all over the place, and she's just trying to live her best life, honestly. So maybe that's what October needs to be for you, Gemini. It's about living your best life, living the life that is best for you, no matter what that obligation may be, and look at the promises for you. All right, let's get your card for the takeaway energy. Oh, here, this came out like right away. This is winter, the sacredness of pausing. So, something else I'm getting now that this energy is in the mix is, maybe before you jump headfirst into obligating yourself to something, um, you need to stop and pause and think about it beforehand, and trust what your gut is telling you. Trust where you're being led. This is another layer to this reading, because later on down the road with this wheel of change, you may change your mind about this altogether. And then, like I said a moment ago, look for ways to get out of it. Sure, it may upset people that you are bowing out, that you are choosing not to obligate yourself or promise yourself to this situation, but it's okay to pause. It's okay to say, you know what, I need to think that over. There's no way I can give you that answer right now, and let them bicker amongst themselves in the process of that. So don't rush forward in the month of October, Gemini. Listen to what your gut's telling you. Don't make promises because you're doing it to please other people. Dedicate time to yourself, and you have a hand in your fate also. Let me know if this resonates for you in some way, Gemini. I'd love to know. And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Okay, Cancer, this reading is for you. I'm going to get all the cards laid out and I will be back to interpret your reading. Okay, Cancer, this is your reading. So, the energy coming forward from your ancestors is the act of love, observation, and invisible. And what I feel with this is you're so engrossed in what you may have going on yourself that you are not paying attention to the others in your life, where they are either feeling like they don't matter or they're not even seen. And I get that energy because the observation card is over here focused towards the Two of Pentacles. And this is all about all those things that you have on your plate, everything that you're juggling, trying to take care of, trying to deal with, trying to manage in some way that you may feel that you don't have any time or energy for anyone else or anything else in your life right now. That maybe you are just trying to keep your head above water. And I feel that because of the tower energy that is right below these two cards. So whether or not something started crumbling or falling apart in your life prior to October, or whether you're starting to see things take a turn or start to fall apart right now, there there is a act of avoidance. I almost feel like that's happening right here in regards to this tumbling or crumbling tower. So maybe by focusing on these other tasks, and maybe these other tasks are really small, but by focusing on them, it keeps you from having to look at and view the major things that are like falling apart or crumbling around you. And the tower isn't always a bad thing. Yes, it comes out of the blue and feels devastating in the moment, but it can also help initiate major change that is was supposed to happen in your life that has been avoided. And that's kind of what I feel with this person here in this invisible where you can't even see their face. Well, if I just pretend like none of this is happening, if I pretend like nothing's going wrong or nothing's falling apart, then it isn't. But eventually, you have to turn around, take off this mask and this hat, and face the things that are difficult or face the things that are not going as planned and falling apart. So, as much as you focus on these other things to distract yourself from this, eventually you will have to turn around and face the tower. And the thing about that is the King of Swords, I think, is here to remind you that if you just come at this in a logical way, if you just look at the whole grand scheme of things and take it piece by piece, you can put this puzzle back together. You can come up with a plan to move forward. You can work your way through this. That's really what I feel with the King of Swords. Because the King of Swords, I don't feel would panic over this tower moment. He would look at it, he would say, well, this is really crap, but then he would, figure out, okay, well, this is what we're going to do from here, this is how we're going to rebuild, this is how I'm going to fix this, because I've already got that idea and plan and I'm prepared in my head. So as much avoidance or as much not looking at this as these two cards are doing, eventually that is going to come to pass where you will have to. And I feel like this energy with this Two of Pentacles is just distractions that you're putting in your way to not face this major issue. Okay, let's see what other energy is playing a role here. Happiness in our hearts and homes. So maybe this is a situation that is regarding a relationship or regarding the home in some shape or form. That's really what I get if this is our takeaway energy. And also, I feel with this that home, the hearth, is a place of comfort, is a place of security, is a place of um, where you can go to find support. So, in saying all of that, if there is something happening in a relationship, in a family relationship, a family dynamic in some way, the distracting yourself with these other little things isn't going to make that go away. Um, or, like I said at the beginning, someone is feeling left out, someone is feeling unseen, someone is feeling like maybe they don't belong in your life anymore. And then on the flip side of that, whatever difficult situation it is that you are going to, there is some sort of comfort in family. There is some sort of comfort in the hearth, in the heart of the home that you can go to for support. And I do feel like the hearth represents that family energy. So it's not like you have to face this alone. So whether or not you are having relationship issues or not, there is still someone, some sort of comfort that you can turn to and ease this pain of this tower in some way. So let me know, Cancer, if that resonates for you in some way. And I hope you have a wonderful start to fall. Leo. Okay, Leo, here is your energy reading for the month of October. The energy from the ancestors coming forward for you comes from the Survive card. Immediately when I laid this card down on the throne, I felt like I am just trying to get through day to day. I am just trying to get to the next day, get to the next day. I almost feel like I am wishing my life away with this card, Survive. And especially since the Eight of Swords is right here as our first card. I feel like, oh, well, the next day is going to be better. Well, okay, the next day after that, I just need to get to my day off if you happen to work. That's what I am picking up with this survival or survive energy here. And the fact that I have the Eight of Swords is the very first card next to this is those are the stories that you're telling yourself that things aren't good, that things are bad, that things are extremely difficult at this time. And maybe they are. Maybe things are difficult at this time. But living in that just struggling to get to the next day mindset makes it harder to come up with a plan to get yourself out of this survival mode, to get yourself out of the um, fight or flight aspect where you're in the stuck in the midst of that energy. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here, Leo, is that fight or flight. The wheel right below the survive brings me into the energy of, well, when is it going to be my turn? When are things going to be better for me? When am I going to be on the upswing of the wheel? That's kind of what I get with this energy right here. And the fact that he is turned towards this Eight of Swords has me in that mindset also, where you think that everything is left up to fate, but and that there's nothing that you can do to change this aspect in any way. If he wants his circumstances to change, he can spin that wheel by shifting his hand and change his fate in some way, or make a shift in his life in some way that he can get out of this scenario. The fact that I've got the King of Cups over here tells me that you need to be gentle with yourself. You need to look at things from an aspect of understanding and compassion within yourself. That's what I really feel, because the only card that has two people on it is this survive card. None of the other cards do. So I really feel that this centers all around you and your thoughts, especially with these two cards right here. So you need to have a little bit of more softness and compassion with yourself and what is going on in your life. Maybe you've been through something really difficult recently and you need to figure out how you can move forward in a more supportive way. And that's supportive of yourself here, and get out of this, survive. Definitely look at the stories that you are telling yourself, how you're feeling about certain things that have happened recently, and is that putting you into that fight or flight energy? And what exactly is it that you're waiting on? What is it that you're waiting to change? And how long are you willing to wait before you actually act upon it yourself? So let's see what this other card is for you. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh no, there's two here. So I'm going to take these away and take the black cat because that flipped out in my hand. Fortune meets opportunity. I feel like October is an opportunity month for you to start evaluating some of these things, to evaluate what you need to do to change, to get out of that constant state of stress, what energy it is that you need to bring into your life with this Wheel of Fortune. Step into that place of compassion and love for yourself. Step into that place of some doing some self nurturing. And I find it interesting here that this King of Cups is not looking in this direction at what's going on over here, isn't noticing this turmoil that's happening in some way, which again brings me back to the thoughts in my mind. So maybe he's not noticing any of this because these are just the thoughts in the mind, which is what I said earlier. And he is more focused on, the actions that he needs to take in order to nurture and comfort himself. So therefore, he doesn't want to lean into or pay attention to this energy or feed it any longer. So that's something to think about too. But stick with this like fortune meets opportunity card, especially since I feel that energy of fortune fits very well with this Wheel of Fortune card. You want things to change, you want things to be different. Spin the wheel and make the change. Step into that energy of nurturing yourself instead of beating yourself up or staying in situations where you're in that constant state of turmoil or stress, which I know is sometimes harder, or is easier said, I should say, than done. Let me know, Leo, does this resonate for you in some way? And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Okay, Virgo, you got self care. Okay, Virgo, here is your reading for the month of October. And before I even get started, I find it really interesting that the star is pointing over here to the Queen of Swords. The message from your ancestors, the thing that they're bringing forward for you, or the energy that they're bringing forward for you, is the active love of self care and expectation. So they're asking you, how are you taking care of yourself? What are you doing for yourself? But the fact that expectation came out with that, I feel like you're not doing enough. That's kind of what I get with that energy of expectation. Or maybe what you have been doing, you have such high expectations for the outcome of the things that you've been doing for yourself. And maybe it's not working out that way, that you are possibly giving up on the fact that, why do I bother nurturing myself? Nothing ever comes of it. I kind of get that feeling with these two cards. Expectation is looking directly at you. They're saying, look, what expectations are you setting in regards to self care? But self care is kind of looking off into like never land here. So maybe your expectations are too high. Maybe you are setting some goals for these self care, for that energy of self-care that you want to bring into your life that are unattainable for whatever reason, or maybe they're just not obtainable right now because you got to do steps A, B, and C before you get to X, Y, and Z. Maybe that's the problem that is happening here, but there's something that needs looked at regarding how you take care of yourself and what you expect from yourself also. The fact that I have the star card here is asking you not to give up on yourself. October isn't the month that you throw it all in the bin, basically. The star card is telling you that maybe this takes a little bit of time. Have a little patience with this. Have faith. Believe in yourself. If this, especially if this is a big change that you've been making within yourself, that you are trying to better yourself in some way, but you're not seeing the exact results that you hope to see, Virgo. So the star card is like, look, don't give up yet. You're just getting started. This isn't the time to let it all go, to not believe in yourself any longer. The fact that I have the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, because they came out together right below these cards, say a lot. Because look, the Seven of Swords is looking over here at the Star card. The Star, who is trying to fill you with hope and fill you with um, those positive thoughts. And then you got the Seven of Swords, that deceptive energy. So I want you to think of this like the angel, the devil on the shoulder, or whatever terms you want to put to those two facets of ourself. And you've got that part of you saying, look, you can do this, you can get through this, we can make these changes, nurture and care for ourselves. And the other one is saying, who are you kidding? We can't do this, this isn't for us. Because if you look here, the Queen of Pentacles is a nurturer card, and the Seven of Swords has their back turned to this energy. They don't want to face the fact that this is the truth, that things take time, that you have to continue to nurture something over and over again in order for it to grow and flourish. Think of a plant. You don't just put the seed in the ground and then you're done with it. You've got to water it. You have to, make sure it's getting enough light. You have to tend to it. So are you tending to yourself? Or did you just say, I'm going to make this change and then expect a miracle and it didn't exactly happen? That's something to consider. But the Seven of Swords is giving you that tug of war energy about whether or not you are capable, I guess, of doing this, if this is something that can be followed through on. And I also get with it, stop deceiving yourself. Are you really putting in the energy and the time and that it takes to nurture and care for yourself? Or are you doing one meditative bath and then saying, yep, I'm good for the next 6 months? I mean, I kind of, you get what you put in. That's what I get with that expectation. You get back the same amount of energy that you are putting forward into something. So if the ancestors are bringing forward that energy of self-care, you need to nurture yourself. You need to take care of yourself more. You need to look at why this message may be coming up for you now at this point in time. And in order to do it, you got to put the same energy into it that you want back from it. The fact that the Queen of Swords is over here, she's bringing forward that element of truth. She's asking you to really look at yourself, look at your life, and be truthful with yourself. Don't stay in that Seven of Swords energy, but to be truthful with yourself and see if you're really caring for yourself in the way that you should. Are there problems, whether health problems or other related problems, that maybe you are ignoring and not taking care of, therefore not taking care of yourself? Let's see what the other energy is for this reading. Lady de las Moretas. I probably butchered the last part, but this is about acceptance and equality. Maybe this is about accepting you for who you really are and trying to possibly work on changing all these facets or aspects of yourself, especially outside aspects of yourself, is leading you down a path of not who you really are. And maybe you're trying to live up to the expectations of others, not just those expectations that you're setting for yourself, but the expectations of others and how they expect you to look, or what you need to change about yourself in order to be accepted by them. And that Seven of Swords is still in that same energy of don't believe what they're telling you. Don't keep telling yourself that if I'm not, you know if I don't dress this way, or if I don't have this or that, they'll never accept me for who I am. And the Queen of Pentacles is asking you to embrace you fully and truly, and to nurture and care for yourself, and um, who you really are. And the Queen of Swords is reminding you to step forward into that truth and embrace that person, because look, she's facing the Queen. I think that's really interesting the way that is. And we got the Star pointing to her, who is also facing the Queen. So there's another layer and dynamic there. So it's time to start taking care of yourself and start doing things that are beneficial for you, not because someone else expects that of you. Not to lie to yourself, to start nurturing yourself, and to believe that whatever goals or whatever thing that you're trying to do for yourself, you can reach them over time. So let me know, Virgo, does this resonate for you in any way? And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Libra, this reading is for you. I'm going to shuffle the cards, see what message is coming forward from your ancestors, and then I'll be back to interpret your reading. Okay, Libra, this is your reading. These two cards flipped over together, so I kept them together. It's the act of love, do nothing, and communication. I was kind of feeling at first that, this was like a duality where some of you need to be quiet and some of you need to speak up. But when I pulled the rest of these cards, I really feel like this is about knowing when not to insert your voice into a certain situation. That's what I'm really getting with these cards, because we got the do nothing and the communication, where you feel like, well, if I don't speak up, then I'm just taking a back seat and letting things happen. But sometimes our voice doesn't need inserted in to situations. And I feel that with this strength card, because I've got the strength and the do nothing next to one another. I feel like it may be hard for you, Libra, to not say anything, especially since you are an air sign. So maybe it's difficult for you to stand back and not say anything, or not insert your opinion into certain things. But the thing about this, and I get that also with this Eight of Swords, and the thing about that is you really have yourself tied up in knots over this, over whether or not you express your opinion or you keep your opinion to yourself, whether or not you send off that email or text or whatever, or you don't. There's a real struggle in the month of October regarding this. The thing about this communication is, because this is directly below this, there's a possibility that the perspective that you have is you may be acting from a place of wounding. So you need to make sure that when you are responding, you would be responding in a more logical sense and not from the wounded person. And that's kind of what I get with this Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords, I feel kind of beats themselves up a lot. And if somebody said something to you that has you feeling upset or feeling discouraged in some way and you want to confront them over it, I understand completely. But the fact that I've got the 5 of Cups over here next to the communication side tells me that things aren't going to go well anyway. So, is it worth upsetting yourself possibly even more having this communication rather than standing in that strength energy and letting things go? That doesn't mean that you are agreeing with anything that they said or that you are agreeing with the situation at hand. But the communication and the 5 of Cups is telling me that the communication is just going to cause more pain, more anguish, and more grief. That's what I get with that card over there. So, this is a month to possibly not respond, to not let it eat you up. It's to not respond and let it roll off your back, to not engage maybe in other people's arguments, um, to stand quietly in your power and not to react from that place of pain or wounding also. So that's something to think about as you move through the month of October. And let's pull another card to see. Midnight, the most magical hour of all. The very first thing I get just seeing the word midnight is tomorrow's a new day. And if you respond and you react in the moment, you're going to end up in this 5 of Cups energy, or more of this 5 of Cups energy is what's going to come forward. The midnight card, if you can wait and you can sleep it off, or, give yourself a couple days to pause and not respond immediately, maybe you can think of a better response in more logical, calm, um, come to it with a different perspective, with a good night's sleep rather than reacting in the moment. That's kind of what I get with that energy right there. So sometimes the act of doing nothing and the act of saying nothing works best for us in the long run. And a good night's sleep or a couple days pass, and you may feel differently about the situation at hand. So let me know, Libra, if this resonates for you in some way. And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Scorpio, this reading is for you. I'm going to shuffle and lay the cards, and then I'll be back with your interpretation. Okay, Scorpio, here is your reading. The energy coming forward from the ancestors for you is on the card Explorer. It's really interesting how each one of these cards is kind of looking forward. He is, she is. She's looking up this way a little bit, but still, um, and there's all single people on these cards, which is something else that I find fascinating considering the other readings that I've done. Okay, so what I feel with this energy and Explorer is this is the month to test the waters. This is the month that you need to start trying new things, putting different feelers out there, exploring different paths. This is not the month to continue doing the same thing day in and day out. There needs to be a change up to your routine. There needs to be something different that you look into, or that you just a different path. I mean, that really try something different. It doesn't have to be anything huge and expansive. I mean, even if you're only used to eating one type of cuisine, tempt the taste buds and try something different. It could be as simple as that, but you need to do some exploring in the month of October. The Emperor, at the same time, says, okay, well, we can try new things, we can do new things, but don't forget what you have to do at hand also. Don't forget the structure. Don't forget to follow through with all your things that need taken care of first. But at the same time, what I feel with this Emperor card is sometimes he keeps you stuck. He keeps you stuck in the same controlling routines and that mundane energy that you've been doing all along. And the explorer may feel a little bit scary, a little bit, you may feel a little fearful, I guess I should say, in engaging with him, engaging in the idea of trying something different, stepping out of that comfort zone of that emperor who likes that structure and likes that routine. I feel like since this is right below, I feel like there is a way for you to find a balance between these two things. It doesn't have to be always boring, dull structure, same routine, different day. That you can add in even the smallest little bits of exploration. Like I said, it could be as simple as trying a different type of meal that you wouldn't normally eat, but you are um, taking the chance on it anyway. And I feel with that Two of Pentacles energy, especially since this is like slanted up towards that explorer energy, even though this is about balancing um, what you have at hand, I also do feel that this is about balancing out these two energies. So think about that. And the thing that the Nine of Cups is over here, this tells me that you might enjoy this. This might really be something exciting to you, no matter how small the difference is. It may be something that is so small that it snowballs into larger changes that you choose to make in your life by just starting to tweak and make these small little changes, these take these small little adventures. Maybe it's a different path to work, maybe it's a different gym that you go to instead of the same one, and you get to meet new and different people and engage uh, differently. Whatever it is, there is a need to put yourself out there, to put yourself in situations that are out of your comfort zone, that are out of your norm. And with the Nine of Cups, I just, like I said, I feel that this is going to bring a lot of joy and happiness to your life by integrating these small little adventures in the month of October. Let's see what this other energy is coming in. Invisibility and authenticity. What I get with this is maybe you have been trying to hide away, not be seen, and using work or mundane tasks for the reason that you've been standoffish or not engaging so much with others or with life or whatever in some way. And the fact that the Explorer card is here is asking you to take this cloak off, to stop being invisible, to put yourself out there, to be seen, to try something new, to meet new people, to do new things. You can do all of that and not lose who you are in the process of it either. That's really what I feel with this group of cards here together. So, are you keeping yourself in the shadows, Scorpio? Do you need to step into this explorer energy and try something new and different in the month of October? And what kind of satisfaction do you think that's going to bring to your life? Share with me in the comments below. And I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, this reading is for you. The ancestors are bringing forward the energy of haunted. Something from your past is really bothering you. And the fact that I've got two skulls up here and I've got two swords below you, maybe it's the words of somebody from the past, thoughts of somebody from the past is really what's been affecting you recently or is affecting you going into the month of October. And I've got the Page of Swords over here in regards to this energy, and I feel almost like I'm swallowing words because he's swallowing that sword. And the Page of Swords is eager to learn something new, but at the same time, I almost feel like he's choking on his words. So maybe there are things that you want to say, there are things that you want to express, but you're just continually swallowing your words in the process of that, so not to create any issues. And therefore, these feelings, these ideas, these thoughts are continuing to haunt you and plague you again from the past, from words that somebody said, etc. Now you have come to the point that you are struggling with what to do. Do I say something? Do I not say something? Do I bring up this issue from the past? Do I let it go? Maybe I need to um, not worry about this any longer. I almost feel that energy too, because he's blindfolded and he's only focused on what these two skeletons have to say. This person's eating their words. Where do you go from here? That's what I feel with this is you're really conflicted about what to say about something or how to go about handling something here. The high priestess is coming in and saying you already know what to do. You're just hesitating with the two of swords. You're hesitating on doing it. You're hesitating on having the conversation. You're hesitating on saying what it is that you truly want to say. I want to get guidance from this high priestess, what she would say to you. The Sun card is the message from the high priestess. And what I feel with this is maybe this conversation or these words that you want to say that you are swallowing and that you're not speaking up for yourself, maybe if you say them, things aren't going to be so bad, especially if they're put in a smart, logical way where you're not accusing, pointing fingers, bringing stuff up from the past, but instead staying in the present and talking about how things are affecting you or bothering you right now at this time. I feel that the high priestess is reminding you that this is a conversation that you could have in a very positive way. It doesn't have to be something negative. You don't have to continue to blindfold yourself or be haunted by those words or thoughts. Let's see what the additional energy is for this reading. Vampire, emotional intelligence is the additional energy to this card. I get a couple things with this. First, I feel like to pay attention to who is draining your energy. Do you have an energy vampire in your space through the month of October? Pay very close attention to that. And are you sustaining that relationship? Afraid to speak up and say, hey, look, I understand, but I have stuff going on too, or whatever the scenario may be in regards to um, um, this vampire here. The fact that it is emotional intelligence tells me that if you choose to have this conversation with this person, like the high priestess mentioned, that things aren't that bad to have this conversation. I also get with that you need to come at it from this logical swords, thoughtful viewpoint, standpoint, not come from it from wounds of the emotional wounds or emotional things that happened in the past, but more of what's happening here in the present and how you can move forward with this person from this logical standpoint, not from a place of emotions. That's kind of what I get with this energy for you, Sagittarius. Let me know in the comments below if this resonates for you in some way, and I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Okay, Capricorn, this reading is for you. I'm going to shuffle the cards and I will be back with your interpretation. Okay, Capricorn, here is your reading. The ancestor energy coming forward for you is limelight. So something is putting you front and center in the month of October, and you need to decide how you're going to feel about that. Is this going to make you comfortable or uncomfortable? All the cards suggest to me is that you like being in this position, or you're not minding being in this position, at least for the month of October. The Nine of Cups tells me this is something that you've been waiting for. You have been waiting to be recognized for something that you've done. You've been waiting to be acknowledged, and you're really happy about how this has turned out. I feel with the universe card here is I'm getting that sense of I almost gave up on this. I almost thought this was never going to happen. I almost thought that maybe this situation or this energy wasn't for me, that I would never get this recognition, that I would never get this honor or whatever in some way. The Page of Pentacles down here tells me that this energy, this recognition for whatever this is giving you a leg up because our leg is up here on this Page of Pentacles, that it's giving you a leg up. So especially if this is recognition on the job, I'm going to say that because the Page of Pentacles is directly below this limelight energy. This is going to, whether that gives you a boost in pay, a raise, or maybe a new position of some sort that comes with some sort of raise. That's how I'm going to see this. The Queen of Wands tells me that you are ready and excited about stepping into this energy. You are ready to be front and center. You're ready to be the one in charge almost. That's kind of what I get with this energy. For those of you who maybe not work outside of the home or have your own little company, I feel like this is recognition for something that you're putting out there into the world, out there into the universe, in some form or fashion. I still am sticking with the you never thought this was going to happen, and that you feel really excited and have immense gratitude for it. So let's look at this other energy. Let's see what else is coming in. Oh, we have hidden talents. What I feel with this cardinal here is it just took a little while for people to realize what you had to offer, for people to realize your worth. The Nine of Cups and the Queen of Wands tells me that you never gave up on yourself, that you never said that I can't do this. You may have thought it, but I feel like you continue to push forward anyway. And finally, when the month of October rolls around, you are getting that recognition that you have always deserved. And those hidden talents of yours are now coming forward, especially on the job, or if you're a small business, or if you are just creating something at home and putting it out there for others to purchase. Like I said earlier, something along those lines. I feel like things are thriving for you in the month of October. So I would say lean hard into this energy, ride this while it's here for your taking, and don't shy away from that limelight. If someone says, hey, tell me about yourself, or hey, tell me about your product, or share how your skills would work best with our company, whatever it is, do not dull any of those aspects. Make sure that you shine in those moments. Make sure that you are proud of the things that you've done, the things that you've accomplished, and say them, speak them, let the world know about them. That's really how I feel um, about this. I don't have too much more to say than that, Capricorn. Ride the wave, step into that limelight, I should say, for the month of October. Let me know if this resonates for you in some way, and I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Aquarius, this reading is for you. I'm going to shuffle your cards and be back with your reading. Okay, Aquarius, here is your outlook for the month of October. Your ancestor energy coming forward is labor. It's all work and no play in the month of October. It's honing in on your skills, it's working hard, it's um, putting your nose to the grindstone is actually what I feel with this. You're really going to be busy with that portion of your life. The thing is, she is looking up here towards this labor energy with this Two of Pentacles, which has come out in many, many readings today. And the Two of Pentacles here is she knows everything that's on her plate. She knows everything that she has to accomplish, especially with work this month, and she's feeling a little stressed about it. She's juggling all these things and trying to keep all the balls basically up in the air and take care of everything in her mundane life too. So there is a little bit of stress here that is going on with this labor and the Two of Pentacles in your work life. The fact that I've got the Ten of Swords right below you is whether this is somebody who knocks you down, um, on the job in some way, or whether this is you knocking yourself down, not believing in yourself, not believing that you can do this, accomplish this, whatever. That's really what I get with this Ten of Swords energy. Be careful in the workplace of those who are saying they're going to help. That's kind of what I get with this, because his head is towards this Two of Pentacles energy. So for those that say, oh, hey, let me take some of this off your plate, let me handle this for you, then whatever doesn't get done, the boss comes back at you for. That's kind of what I get with these two cards and the labor card right here. So just be sure that you are taking care of your responsibilities when it comes to on the job things. I also feel with this energy is that you feel maybe that work is really um, the intensiveness at work is really taking a toll on your mental health. All of it is taking a toll on your mental health. The fact that I have the Six of Cups over here, this could be like maybe leaning into that childhood friend that really has your back, that has supported you, that is there for you through thick and thin, and lean towards them to maybe help you through this in some way, or to just be a listening ear for you. But I also feel like you've been in this position before. You've done this before, where maybe things are going good for you in your career, and maybe the Ten of Swords is about self-sabotaging yourself. Um, that you know your responsibilities, you know what you need to do to handle things, but yet somehow you manage to mentally self sabotage yourself. I almost feel that with this Six of Cups energy. And if that's the case, where you're your own worst enemy in this situation and you've been through this cycle before, maybe this is the time to remind yourself that you've picked yourself up and got through this, and that you don't need to stay down. You don't need to let things weigh on you mentally. You don't need to start telling yourself that this is something that you can't do and that you can't handle. Let's see what additional energy we have for this reading. Huh, the lamp, remembrance. That's really interesting considering what I just said about the Six of Cups, that I was feeling that energy from the past, that you self sabotage, that you did this to yourself before, and you don't need to go down that road again. Remember how things were. Remember that you had a hand in your own maybe demise at that time with whatever goal, job, whatever project, whatever this may be with the labor. Remember that you can do this. You don't need to get overwhelmed in this situation. You can do this. Just keep your nose to the grindstone. Just keep yourself focused on the tasks at hand. Don't get swept up in the past of, well, what it, or the what ifs either. And just really focus on what needs done this month, and you will make it through. I hope this resonates for you in some way, Aquarius. Let me know in the comments below, and I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Okay, Pisces, this reading is for you. I'm going to shuffle the cards and I'll be back with your interpretation. Okay, Pisces, here is your reading. The energy coming forward from ancestors is the card Kindred. I feel this is about connections with those who are special to you, connections with whether that's a family, like minded people, whatever that scenario may be. That's what I feel that the month of October is bringing forward. It's all about connections. There is a disconnect happening, though, within you in regarding to these connections. There's something that is bothering you. There's something that you're not wanting to face. And the fact that I've got the Three of Swords right below Kindred tells me that there are hurt feelings happening in one of your relationships. So with the disconnect here with the Four of Cups and the pain of the situation with the Three of Swords, you are really withdrawing from this person, from this connection. Maybe you're wondering if there's something better out there with this Four of Cups energy, because you don't want to look at what is going on here. And maybe, I don't know why, but for some reason, looking at his face, looking directly at me, I almost feel like I've been down this road before. I've been through this before. I've hit this wall, hit this cycle, whatever this is before. I know what this feels like. So, therefore, with that Four of Cups, it almost like it's whatever. I don't even care. I'm not getting involved in any more of this emotional drama. I kind of feel that with these three cards right here. Do I want to get involved in this again? This seems to be happening with the three, like three times over. This seems to be a repeating scenario that's going on here that is upsetting me or upsetting someone in this relationship. The Six of Pentacles over here has his hat extended towards this. So it's almost like, do I give them one more chance? Do I offer up forgiveness? Do I offer another chance for them to come back into my life and go through this whole scenario again? That's what I feel. It doesn't matter if this is a friendship, if this is a romantic relationship, or if this is a partnership of some sort. I just feel like you've been through this cycle with this person already once before. You've already looked at or experienced this pain before. You've already been through this emotionally before. And now you're getting like to the point where you don't care. You don't want to look at it. But yet, with the Six of Pentacles over here, who's looking towards this Four of Cup, it's like, well, do I turn my back completely now for the final time, or do I give them one more, a fourth chance, especially if there's three swords here. Do I give this person a fourth chance? Do I offer that up and try to get a give and take balance between us again, or whatever this may be? And this is something to ponder on, but how many times are you going to let yourself get into this three of swords feeling, this pain, these thoughts that stream over and over in your head, basically, about what has been done to you, or how it's been done to you, or how many times something like this has been done to you, which is why you have disconnected recently. Let's see what the other energy is for this reading. I'm going to take both these cards since they both came out. Skeleton, strength, and then skull of flowers, creating through the ashes. So I feel with these two cards, this is where you need to do a lot of thinking in the month of October regarding this relationship, whatever sector it falls in your life. You need to do a lot of thought about, do you have the strength to go through this again? Or maybe this is about having the strength to build yourself back up and create something new and something better. Not necessarily with that person, unless that's what you want to do, where you're giving another chance, you're extending that offer to them in some way, of rebuilding something, tearing it down to the ground and rebuilding it up into something better. And do you have the strength to do that? Or do you have the strength to step away, to rebalance your own life and rise from the ashes, pull yourself up and out of that three of swords energy, move away from this relationship? Maybe it's not that kindred connection that you thought it was. That's a possibility here with the way that the cards are on the table. So you can look at this both ways. This is about pulling yourself up out of the ashes, no matter which scenario you look at, and having the strength either to try one more time, or having the strength to do something completely different and rebalance yourself and go your own way. So there's a lot for you to ponder and think about in the month of October, Pisces, of what you want to do and how you want to handle this situation. Let me know if this resonates for you in some way, and I'm wishing you a wonderful start to fall. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you guys watching, and until I see you in the next one, bye.